math. Math is so much fun for everyone. Math. Math. All right, boys and girls, today we are going to make a bar graph. We were supposed to make a bar graph out of the things that we cut up yesterday. Remember when we cut up celery and cucumbers, strawberries, cuties, and bananas? We were supposed to test taste those and make a graph of the foods we like, just like they did on the back of the homework. And then we were supposed to talk about the graph, because you're going to write an observation today about this graph. And an observation is just something that you notice about the graph. For instance, when I look at this graph, I see that most of the kids liked carrots. I see that one more child liked carrots than liked tomatoes. I see that mushrooms got the least number of votes. And I see celery, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 kids liked celery. So, I mean, I could even write right here, 5 kids liked celery. Or only 3 kids liked mushrooms. So today, since we couldn't try any of those foods, what I did was I sent either a pack of fruit snacks with you or M&Ms, depending on what I had, and I stapled them to your math assignment. So today we're going to graph those. So I think I'm going to start with the M&Ms. And I've written down the colors ahead of time because it's hard for me to hold my phone and rip this open at the same time. So I'm going to take these out. Oh, and it looks like the other pack I had did not have any green, so I'll have to add green to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these on to a graph, and I'm going to put all the pinks together and the purples together and the blues. Oh, this one's a lot different than my last one. This one doesn't even have any yellows at all. All right, I'll just add another line here. And I'll add green. I didn't even know they had green. Green, okay. And then, oh, these are yellow. They just looked kind of orange in the light. All right, so I made my graph. So what you're going to do is you're going to make your graph either out of your fruit snacks or out of your M&Ms. And then you're going to start to make observations about your graph. For instance, I could say that purple and blue tied. They each have 1. I could say that I have 2 yellows. I could say that I have the most pinks. I could say I have the least purple and blues. I could say how many more pinks do I have than yellows? And I could match them up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more pinks than I have yellow. And what would be a good title for this graph? I guess I could call it M&M graph. And graph sounds like it ends with an F, but it's a PH. Sounds like an F, but it's a PH. Graph. So it's going to say on the front of your math, it's going to say on number 4, write 1 observation about your classroom graph about foods. So we don't have a classroom graph together, so that's why you're making your own graph today, either with M&Ms or with fruit snacks, and you're going to make an observation. So let's see, what should we write today? What is something I could say that would sound like math? Now, we don't want to say like pink won, like it's not a contest or a race, or purple and blue lost. We don't want to talk like that because those aren't mathematical terms. So I think I will say, I think one observation I could say on mine is pink. Pink has the most. That's one observation I could say. And another one I could say, let's say purple and blue have the least, because least and most are mathematical terms. I also could say purple and blue tied. They each had 1 vote. Now, you probably can't write these same observations because you're going to have a different amount of M&Ms or fruit snacks in your pack. So depending on what you have, that's what observations that you can write about. And on the back of the homework, you can look at the foods we like and you can make an observation about the kids in this class. For instance, a lot of kids in this class didn't like mushrooms. So only 3 kids liked mushrooms, and I could say that. Only 3 students or kids liked mushrooms. And notice I'm ending my sentence with a period. Another observation I could make, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 students liked carrots. 9 students liked carrots. So an observation is really just something that you notice by looking at it. I could say 1 more child liked carrots than liked tomatoes. I could say 4 more students liked carrots than celery. Yeah, there's a lot of observations I could make. So just to say again what I've said, you're going to open up your M&Ms or your fruit snacks and you're going to make a graph, just like I did here. You're going to put the colors together and then you're going to write down your observation on side A of number 4 of your math. And I wrote down 3 observations. You actually only have to write down 1 observation. All right? I hope you've enjoyed making this. And if you already ate your candy and you say, I can't do this, I don't have any candy, you don't need candy. You can use Legos, you can use something else you have in your house, and you can graph that. I found these at my house, so I could graph these by color. And I could make a graph out of those. I also have some Easter eggs here. I could separate those by color and make a graph out of those. So, I mean, you can get creative. There's probably something at your house that you could make a graph out of. Let's see what I've got here. Oh, got 2. All right, what kind of observation could you make about these? I mean, right away, I see a 3-way tie. I see yellow, blue, and pink have tied. I see that I have the most of orange. I have the least of yellow, blue, and pink. I have 1 more green than I have white. I have 1 more orange than I have green. Yeah, and I could title this Toys That I Like to Play With. All right. So just to remember, we have graphed tags on a bar graph. Actually, we graphed candy on a bar graph, and we wrote observations about our graph. All right, I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. Remember, math can be delicious. Don't forget to subtract it into your mouth. Have a great day. Bye-bye.